There we go, all set up perfectly. So now all that side of things are set up perfectly. We just need to set you up perfectly. So let's come to our set position whenever you're ready. So let your weights come into your heels. Nice and soft through your knees. So the knees aren't too bent, but you're not locking them out either. So kind of midway between those 2 points. Turn your palms in towards your thighs. And as you do this, feel like your shoulder blades gently draw towards each other. So you feel you have a connection through your mid-back, and then you're really open and wide across your collarbones. Now from here, coming into our pelvic tilt, just to get that lower back moving, we breathe in and using the out breath for our tuck. Now we're going to think about our ribs today. As we're working through our pelvic tilts, we're trying to keep the ribs down. And as you tuck under your tailbone, you get the feeling you're drawing your belly button up towards your ribs. You're breathing in, allowing your hips to ease away from your ribs, and then breathing out as you tuck. Now sometimes if you're a little tighter through your lower back, you might get the movement coming in to the upper back. So it might be only a very tiny movement, but it's more important to try and keep the ribs still and just encourage that movement through the lower back. Now we're also trying to get our tummy muscles working. So as you scoop under with your tailbone, you're pulling your belly button back towards your spine. Breathing in, allowing it to release, and then breathing out, drawing it back. And once you pull your belly button up towards your spine, almost try and scoop it up towards your rib cage too. And then you'll feel a little deeper connection coming into your core. And once more. So we're going to come midway between those 2 points. That places in a neutral spine with our hips facing forward. Hands are down by your thighs and the shoulders relaxed. We're going to breathe in, lift both shoulders. Breathe out, push them down, and then the arms come out to the side. Now the in-breath, your shoulders rise up to the ears. The out-breath, the shoulder blades pull down. As we breathe out and keep pushing the arms out to the side, you're trying to make sure the shoulders don't rise. So you're trying to maintain lots of length into your neck. And as you're pushing the arms out to the side, you're keeping your shoulder blades drawn down towards your back pockets. So that's using the muscles to help stabilise the shoulders. And then we're going to add in a little heel raise. So the next time you bring your arms up into the centre, you can lift both heels off the floor. So you pull the ears and heels and the ankles up. Forgot what they were called. And then push out to the side. So again, you're breathing in, shoulders towards ears. Breathe out, pull the heels down and push the arms out to the side. Just give me 2 more here. As you lower the heels, let the weight go back into the heels. Keeping your square, your neutral spine, and then resting into the centre. Bring your left hand to your head. Keep both knees soft in your neutral position, and let's just ease in some side bends to our right hand side. So your weight's again even in both feet. And as you're bending to your right, you're trying to make sure you keep the weight evenly placed through both feet. You'll find your left foot wants to lift to help you take your hand further. So don't worry about how far you're going. Think about the weight staying in the feet, the tailbone tucked under, and then the movement through your waist and through your spine. Then you can stretch up to the ceiling and come back into the centre. Breathing in through your nose and then breathing out through your mouth. Again, think about the feet. Don't let all the weight go onto your right foot. So it might help just to press your left foot a little firmer into the ground before you ease over to your right. Hopefully then you feel more stretch down your left hand side. 2 more on this side. Still keeping your tailbone gently tucked under, so you're always in your neutral spine as we come to the side. And then as you rest in the centre, just simply bring the hand down, reset your shoulders, and let's come out to our left. Sit into the heels, back into neutral, right hand to your head, and your shoulder back and down. Just a gentle breath in as you ease down. Out breath as you rise. Now you might notice as you bend, your hips want to sway to allow you to get further. But again, we're thinking about the stability through our hips and the movement through our spine. Your left ear stays directly in line with the shoulder. And then whenever you're ready, Taking a further stretch, just gently reaching up towards the ceiling. No hip sways. Nice and strong, centered through the hips. And again, as you're moving to your left, maybe press down to your right heel a little bit more. And use the in-breath on the way down. Now use the out-breath as you rise. In through the nose, and then out through your mouth. Once more. So get that nice little bit of movement coming through our spine. So you can bring your hands down now towards your thighs. We're going to come into bow and arrow arms. We're going to add an extension to the arms. So from here, you're going to bring your arms in line with your shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades down. Again, if the back's arching, little tuck under with the tailbone, and your thumbs pointing up to the ceiling. You're going to draw your elbow back, open the arm, and then close into the centre. Your left elbow back, open to the back, and then close into the centre. Now keeping the chin gently nodded in, lots of length up through the back of your neck. So you still have that feeling the crown of your head is drawing upwards towards the ceiling. And then think about your hips, they're square to the front the whole way through. Now let the breath even come in through the nose. Pause, and then breathe out strongly as you come back to the centre. Now when you're coming back into the centre, try not to let the shoulders come forward of the ears. So if you remember at the beginning, we pulled those shoulder blades down to the back of the ribs. When the arm comes forward, we want to come back to having that sensation through the mid-back of the shoulder blades drawing downwards. And that's going to just stop that flexion coming through our upper back. And again, breathing as you draw back. Out breath to close. 2 more each side. Let the weight come back into the heels again. Keeping the knees soft. Everything below your hips, nice and still. And one last time. And then just ease down. Roll the shoulders back. Okay, from here we're going to come back into our heel raises. We're going to do a double arm float. So you're in your neutral spine, weights through the heels, and we're going to let our weight come onto the balls of our feet. Both heels lift and arms come to shoulder level. And then a gentle breath in as your weight comes back into your heels. So you gently roll forward onto the balls of the feet. Try not to grip with your toes. You're going to breathe out through the mouth as you lift. And we're going to start to think about our ribs. So as you bring the arms forward, you don't want to feel like your ribs flare or your back arches. So again, we're thinking about keeping the spine in our neutral position. And then we're going to bring the arm out to the side this time. So once you've lifted your heels, you're just going to draw your right arm back, keep your weight even in both feet, come into the centre, then your left arm, and then into the centre, and gently go back onto your heels. Now the out breath comes through your mouth, the in breath through your nose, out breath through your mouth. In to open, out to close, and a breath in to release. Think about your space here. So when you open the arm, aware that your ribs don't push forward and your back doesn't arch. And then the next time we'll focus on our ankles. So think about your ankles this time. They want to stay the same distance at the bottom and at the top. So you're avoiding rolling out onto your little toes and allowing the ankles to separate. So we're still trying to maintain alignment from the heels all the way up to our ears. I'm coming from Barnsley, I'm still working on my vowels. I'm not joking either. Draw the tummy in. If you want to now turn the head, give your bottom a little squeeze, but just be aware that you haven't locked out through your knees. We're going to do 2 more. Breathing out through the mouth. Take a breath in, gently drawing the tummy in. And again, thinking about your square the whole way through, so you've not allowed this rib to pop away from the hip. And one last time. So we're starting to feel the stability work through our ankles as we come into our calf raises. We're noticing how we use our tummy muscles to help keep the hips still as we bring rotation into our spine. And we rest down. We'll reset our shoulders. We're going to work with a little bit more balance. We're going to do a knee lift. So we're going to have a little sway to our right. Just let the weight come into your right leg and then lift your left foot and then lift your left knee. And then you place your toe on the floor, roll through the foot, and then just simply sway to your left. Then lift your right heel, your right knee, and then your toe to the floor and lower. Now again, you're in your neutral spine. So when you lift your foot, you're trying not to allow the hips or the back to move. If you feel that when you lift your foot, you lose your neutral position and your back collapses, then don't lift the foot off the floor. You can just take it to a heel raise, working on keeping the pelvis level and the spine nice and long. Breathing out through the mouth, shoulder blades are down. Now your opposite knee stays nice and soft, so don't lock out that standing knee. And then that's going to help the muscles around the knees, the ankles and the hips to work harder to stabilise those joints. Now let's add in the arms. So you're going to lift both arms. You're going to hold here. You're going to open your right arm and your right knee to the side if you can. Back into the centre and then ease down. Again, use the out breath on the left. Right knee soft. Breathe in, open to your left. Breath into the centre and then breathe out as you close. If you prefer, and again, you don't have to lift the foot off the floor, you can come onto your toe and you're almost opening into a standing clam. Now I want everybody to grow that little bit taller. And you're going to try and maintain that length all the way up your spine now as you come into your last 3. Don't rush. 1 left on each side. Breathe out through the mouth. As you breathe in, draw the knee and the shoulder blade back. And then breathe out to close. And a breath in as you release. Once more. And balanced muscles are going to come in very useful. Ease into the centre and gently release. Give your legs a little shake. So we're going to bring our feet a little bit wider, then set position. We're going to move into our squats and we're going to add a double heel raise at the bottom. So just have a quick look first. Once we're in our neutral spine and everything's set and strong, we tip forward from our hips and we bend into the knees. From here, you can just lift the arms, or we're going to do a double heel raise, lifting both heels, the arms, and then pushing back up to standing. First one, I'll just do the arms. Second ones, we'll add in the heels. So you have your options to work through. All 10 toes, ideally pointing forwards. Tummy button drawn gently in, shoulders down. Hinge forward, push the bottom back. Check your knees are in line with your toes. Without the ribs lifting, arms float forward, and then hands back to your knees and push through both heels. Now if you want to, as you lift your arms, peel both heels off the ground. Gently place them down and then push through your heels to rise. Neutral spine, so the chin's tucked in, the back's nice and long. If you don't feel happy lifting both heels, maybe just work with a single heel lift. Do your right and then your left. Chin tucking in. Now you might feel the ribs want to come up as the arms do, so you've got to work quite strongly through the upper abdominals to stop the back arching and the ribs flaring. Use the breath in, out on the lift. Gentle breath in as you lower, and then breathe out to rise. And I'm sure, seeing it's coming towards the weekend, and you've done all the hard exercise through the week, you might be ready for another challenge. So what we're going to do this time, instead of placing the heels back down, if you can, press through the balls of the feet and rise. And then place the heels down. So if you're going with the lift, hold here, lift the heels, press through the balls of your feet, slowly, slowly up, and then ease the heels down. Good balancing. Breathing in through the nose. Roll onto the heel, onto the balls of the feet, sorry. And then breathe out, push. Squeeze the bottom and get the hips right back under the shoulders. And then your heels down. 4 more. So they're getting warm. So we start to feel how much work we have to do to our ankles, through our feet, to create a strong foundation and lots of stability for our movement. Shoulder blades are still into the ribs. Belly's drawn to back, so you still have your square between your ribs and your hips. Don't rush. When you feel ready, push through the feet. And then ease back down. 2 more. Nice long back. Knees are over toes. Arms and heels. Once you've got your balance, then push and rise. And adding whatever arm movements that help you to not fall over. One last time. And enough falling for this week. Press. And then gently ease down. Perfect. Little stretch for the hips next. Just a few lunges. We're going to do 6 on each leg. We're going to take the feet wide and still try not to fall over. Front knee, your right knee over your heel, and we're going to stay in this split position. Let's find neutral. So again, even if you're not going to come low into your lunge, I just want you to make sure you're in a neutral position. So your hip bones are forward. Check that front knee, it will want to drop in. So you're gently pushing it out so you can see your big toe to the inside of your knee. Draw the belly in. As you breathe in, you're going to lift the arms. Keep your tailbone tucked. And you're going to breathe out, pull your hands down towards your thighs. You're just searching for a stretch through the front of your left hip. Hold it. Pull the hands down and push out the heel. Just watching the knees that rolling in. You're still in neutral, so tuck under your tailbone again here. Then you feel the stretch even more. If you can, allow that back knee to go a little deeper. Wait. Enjoy the stretch. And then rise. 2 more. And keep the back of the neck nice and long. So you have that constant feeling that you're pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to stay here. You're just going to bring the hands down. Now you're going to lift your heel. Lift. Place the heel down. We're only doing 4. If it's too much, just come up to standing. Just stay with that first part of the lunge. So again, you're pressing through the ball of your foot, letting the heel just peel off the ground. Feeling the work through the back of the shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades down into your ribs. And then push through the heel. And step in. You must have known when I said we're doing 6, there was going to be something hard in there. Feet hip width. Again, if you're narrow, it's going to be really wobbly. Check in on that front knee first. If it's here, when you lunge, you'll keep sliding backwards and forwards, directly up and down. So stack that front knee, and that knee never moves now. Shoulders are sitting back, tailbones under, so ears, shoulders and hips are in line. Breathe in. Arms come up, keeping the tailbone tucked, pull the shoulders down, and again that front knee hasn't moved. So we always go into the lunge with the back knee lowering. Tailbone tucking. Hold the stretch, and then rise slowly. And again, without causing yourself any pain, just so you can ease a little deeper into your stretch. Now you might feel as you go a little lower, you're fatiguing, your shoulders will come forward or your back will want to arch. So again, thinking about your posture all the way through. Breathe in as you ease into the hips. Pause. Breathe out and grow tall. Last one. And again, if you want to stay with this movement, stay with this movement, or stay down at the bottom. We just come into the heel raise. Tailbone is still tucked under. Heel and arms, gently lower. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you just want to work with the arms, just keep the foot flat on the floor. Once more, breathing in. Let your breath go. Rise and step in. So hopefully that's nicely stretched out your hips. And that's going to allow us to get into a better position for our bridges. Sometimes the hip flexors stop the glutes getting that full hip extension. That's why I've been kind to you first. Before you have a lie down, we come into our bridges. So we've got all the muscles through the front of the hips released. Sometimes when these are really tight and you try and get your glutes to work and they're holding the hips in this position, the glutes never work through their full range of movement. So the idea of getting these released first is that when we come into our hip bridge next, the hips are a lot looser and you can get more glute activation. That's the plan. So as you come down onto your mat, feet are fairly close, hands are just by your thighs. You're going to lengthen the back of your neck to begin with. So when you're in a bridge, you should always be looking at the ceiling in front rather than tipping the head back and looking at the ceiling behind your head. The shoulder blades just slide down to the back of your rib cage, starting in a neutral spine. 5 tilts. We're going to breathe in. With the out breath, you're just going back to your tummy muscles, drawing your belly button down towards your spine. Breathing in, going back into a neutral position. Now, I want you to focus again on your ribs. The more you keep your ribs still, as you work through your lower back, you can get a much better connection to your core and much more stability through your shoulders. So again, don't think about how big you're making those tilts. Think about how still the ribs stay. Now from here, we're going to roll up to our first rib. You're going to breathe in, and it's with the out breath, press your belly button to the back, and then just peel up to the first rib. And then again, press down with your belly button for your imprint, and then back into neutral. What I want you to think about now is your knees. If you're a little tight through your outer thighs, you'll feel the knees want to roll outwards. And that's fine, but what we need to do is to get stability around our knees, is to make the inner thighs work evenly to keep the knees centered and stable. So it might mean just squeezing the inner thighs a little bit more to keep the knees in line with the hips and avoid the outer thighs taking over. Now we're going to come up to the shoulders, keeping the chin nodded in. Roll through the lower back. Make sure the knees haven't flared out, so again making the inner thighs work to keep that knee alignment. Now here, just stop for a second. Think about your ribs and hips. You want that equal space set between your ribs and hips. If you've allowed your ribs to flare, the extension is now coming through your back and you've lost your neutral spine here. So again, less is more. Everything nice and aligned. And as you roll down, press the belly button to the floor, press the back into the ground, and you're neutral. Think about the space you have here when you're in neutral. We keep that same space when we come to the top. Again, if we let the ribs pop away, we lose that square, that connection in our midsection. And just come back to your breath, nice gentle breath in. Press the weight into both heels. And as you breathe out, squeeze the bottom, try and get the hips, shoulders, knees in a nice straight line, and then breathe in as you ease down. So you might notice that you maybe use your hands a little to help with your balance. So let's take the hands away. Now, you're going to bring your hands onto your opposite shoulders, but don't round through the shoulders. They still want to stay down and pressed into the ground. Weight even in both feet. You're going to breathe in, and again, using the out breath as you rise. Knees over your heels, bottom squeezed, and try and place each vertebrae down as gently and with as much control as you can. So you can visualise your spine like a string of pearls and just picking each one up and the next, finding your alignment and your square. Breathe in and then use the out breath to roll back down. Just going to work with 2 more, just again to get that mobility through the back. And just really bringing that awareness in of which muscles we're using. And then again, feeling the control as you lower each vertebrae down, pressing your belly button down towards the ground and then back into your neutral. Now you've got options again. You can either keep your hands here or you can bring them back onto the ground. We're going to work with this single leg bridge. So this is more for strength. We're going to start either with our right heel lifted, so you're lightly resting on the ball of your foot, or your right knee at 90 above your hip. Hands by your thighs, or again, just across your shoulders, pressing the shoulders into the ground. We're going to work with our roll. Breathe in. On your out breath, you're going to tilt your pelvis again, put your weight into your left heel, press down, squeeze your left buttock and just gently hold here. Breathe in. Now as you breathe out, try and come down through each vertebrae with as much control as you can. We're just going to do 6 on each leg. You're breathing out as you're ready to rise. You're keeping your chin tucked in. You're squeezing your left buttock and keeping your left toes nice and free. So the more you start to press down through your left heel, the more that's going to activate your glutes. If you have a tendency to push through your toes, that engages the muscles at the front of the leg more. So we want to get the muscles in the back of the body working. If you need a little bit more support, hands just down by your ribs. I think you've got 2 left. I probably need to work on my counting as much as I do my talking. So for our last one, we're going to bring a little bit more endurance into this exercise. Now you can either keep your foot on the ground, or from here you're going to lift. Now you're going to lift your left heel if you can. For 4, press the heel down. Push through the ball of your foot for 3, for 2, and once more. And then lower, all the way back down. Once more, one set of 4 at the top. Again, you can keep that right foot lightly resting on the ground, or the knee above the hip. Firm into your shoulders and lift the left heel for 4. Now you don't have to lift that left heel, you can just hold this bridge at the top for a little bit longer, squeezing that left buttock up, and once more, and then place the heel down, roll through your back, in imprint to neutral, and bring your left foot down, right foot down, sorry. Ready for the other side? So again, you can either just lift that right heel off the ground, you can bring your knee straight above your hip, you can have your hands here, a little harder for your balance, a little easier for your balance, hands by your thighs. Just reset your entire body. Feel the shoulders are settled back into the ribs, chin's nodded in, right knee in line with your toe. Breathe in. As you breathe out, start to roll through the hips. Press into the right heel. Try and find that neutral spine at the top, so hips, shoulders, knee aligned. Start with the upper back as you place each vertebrae down. And I want you to work that extra little bit harder, trying to roll through your imprint. So the pelvis tilts back first. That's when your tummy muscles engage. Then you start to press into your heel and squeeze the bottom. You feel the weight come into the shoulders. Now you're going to press your belly button down towards the spine as you roll down to the mat. Try and get that lower back into the ground before you go back into neutral. Use the out breath when you're ready to rise. Take a breath in at the top, and then use the out breath as you roll back down. So you can maybe try your last 2 with your hands across your shoulders, but don't round the shoulders. Keep the collarbones nice and long, so you're staying really broad across your chest and really firm down through the upper back. Breathe in at the top and use the out breath. Press the belly down, roll through your imprint and reset into neutral. Ready for the next one? We're going to hold at the top this time. Hands can come down by the hips or stay across your chest. 4 heel raises. Just rolling onto the ball of your foot. Squeezing your right buttock. If you've had enough, just take a rest and come back down whenever you're ready. But whenever you come down, try and control that lowering phase. One more set of 4. And if you don't like the heel raises, you don't have to do them. You can just stay at the top and enjoy holding your bridge. If you're going with a heel raise, breathe out as you lift your heel. Try not to grip with the toes, press into the ball of the foot. Great for your calves and great for your stability. Do the ankles. And then gently roll back down. And then you get to hug in both of your knees. Draw them in towards your chest. So sometimes I think we don't realise how much work and how much effort goes through our ankles. And getting your stability through your ankles is really important for everything above your ankles, because that's kind of your foundation for your movement and stability. So as much as it works through the calves as well, it gives you a lot more flexibility and strength for your movement. All right then team, we're going to bring our feet down to the floor. We're going to start in a soft imprint. Tucking in the chin again, let your hands just come down by your hips. Really broad and open across your chest and your shoulders. We're going to come to a double knee lift. We're going to breathe in to prepare. Keeping the knee at 90 degrees, we breathe out, lift our right knee. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, your left knee lifts. Right leg extension. Breathing in, push to 45 degrees. Breathe out, come back. Left leg, breath in to extend. Out to come back. Right leg lowers. Breathing in. And then breathing out to lower your left leg. Simple. So we start again. Breathe in to prepare. Left leg this time. Breathe out with your left. Take a breath in. Out to lift your right leg. Breathe in, extend your left leg to 45. And then breathe out, bring it back into the centre. Right leg extending. Breathing in through your nose. Breathing out through your mouth. Breath in. Lower your left foot. Breathe out. Lower your right foot. Take a breath in. When you're ready, it's your right leg that lifts this time. Keeping a soft imprint and trying to keep the knees directly above the hips. Now as your right leg moves, your left leg stays perfectly still. As you're extending your leg, you're keeping your back in your imprinted position. Right leg lowers. Left leg lowers. Your feet are now resting on eggshells. We're going to lead with the left leg this time. So knee staying at 90 degrees. Bring up the right knee when you're ready. Breathe and extend your left leg. Keep that contact between your lower back and the mat. Right leg extending, breath in through the nose. Out through your mouth. Left foot down. Gently onto your eggshell. And then your right foot down. That's your first option, one leg at a time. Or you can do both legs together. Strong imprint position. We're going to breathe in. With the out breath, we lift both knees. Breathe in, legs to 45 degrees. Out breath, knees above hips. And a breath in to lower your feet. Out breath again. Lift. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Breath in, toes to ground. So again, you can just do that with one leg. You can just work with one leg at a time. I can stay that same sequence that we did in the beginning. A little harder is working with both knees. Imprint the lower back. And once you imprint your lower back, when you extend your legs out, you're working again hard through your tummy to keep your lower back towards the floor. Anybody want another level? I can't hear you, so I guess you're all saying yes. So from here, as your legs extend, you flex your right foot, lower it to the floor. Breathe out, lift. Left leg, flex, so the heel lowers. Point, and then knees back in, and lower the feet down. That's a bit harder. Now start thinking about the shoulders. You might feel your shoulders are starting to curl up off the ground. Press them down. Belly button towards back. Breathe out with the lift. Breathe and extend both legs. Bring them back if you want to, or flex the foot. Keep your left leg still as your right leg moves. Keep the head nice and rested. And then bring both knees just back to 90. and to the ground. Never losing your imprint, you've got 2 left. Feel that contact between the lower back and your mat. Not forcing it into the floor, but feeling there's that light contact all the way through, especially when the leg's lower here. Chin again still tucked in, so the head hasn't tilted back. Feet down. Shaking muscles. One more time. I was going to add in the arms as well, but I think we're all right here for today. Maybe next week. Flex the foot. Point the toe. Again, flex. Point. Pull the knees back in. Gently. Back onto your eggshells. Now keep your feet on your eggshells. Don't press the feet into the ground. Bring your hands towards your ankles. We're going to come into our crunches. If you need a cushion or block behind your head, that's fine. But we do want to make sure we have our chin tucked in first. So if you've got a little peach held under your chin. Without pressing into the feet, we're going to just tuck in our chin and lift. We're going to breathe in, lift the arms. Out to press down. And then a breath in as you roll back through your spine. So from the chin, as the chin tucks in, you pull your hands to your ankles and your ribs towards your hips. Now, as we're working through our crunches, we are in a neutral position. So you're not pressing your back into the floor. If you press your back into the floor, you'll see how the hips rock back. Then you're pulling up with your hip flexors, should initiate the movement from your hips. So think about where your tailbone is at the very bottom of your spine. Try and keep that gently pressed towards the ground. And that's going to help to keep your neutral position. Start from the chin. Use the out breath, reach the hands forward. Breathe in as you lift the arms. Breath in as you press them down. And then breathe out to lower. Again, try not to press the back into the floor. Try not to let the hips tilt back. That's option 1. Right, option 2, we're going to stay at the top. We're going to do 2 arm lifts, but we're going to extend our right leg so your thighs are parallel. Back onto your eggshell. Still in neutral as your left leg lifts. Back onto your eggshell and ease back down slowly. Not flaring the ribs. So I don't want you to feel like the ribs are flared as you roll back down. Keep the ribs gently connected to the hips. Breathe out through the mouth. Breath in as you ease down. Out with the lift. In through your nose. And out to roll down. In to prepare. Out to reach to your ankles. Big breath in. No change of position through the ribs and the hips as you lift the arm and alternate legs. Start with the upper back, keep the chin tucked in as you roll down. 2 more. Are you still in a neutral position? Can you stay in a neutral position as you extend your leg out and up? And your feet are still resting on your eggshells. Maybe next time. Or you're having scrambled egg for breakfast. Now hold here and just pulse forward. 10, 9. Press your tailbone towards the ground. So again, you're keeping your neutral position. You're just pulling with your ribs towards your hips. Your hips are nice and anchored. I can't count past 2. Give me 2 more just to be safe. And then from here, just gently roll back down. Bring the knees in. So again, it brings that release into your lower back. Knees gently in towards the ribs. Now if you bring your knees together and just circle your knees around your hips. And then when you're ready, just go the other way around. So that's your massage for your lower back. Your reward for your hard work. Stay here, tuck in your chin and take a roll up if you can. If not, just come to seat at the best where you comfortably can. Lengthen up through your spine and take your feet forwards. So again, just releasing through the back, you're going to come right up onto your sit bones, tuck in the chin and just allow yourself to gently flex forward. Now as you're flexing forward, you're gently drawing the belly button towards the back, allowing the shoulders and the neck to relax down. Take a nice big breath in, and as you breathe out, allow yourself to sink a little bit further. Rising up when you're ready, just restacking your spine, coming up nice and tall back onto your sit bones, and then you can take your legs behind. So we are going to work our way up to standing, and if you find it difficult coming up this way, just come up the best way you comfortably can. We're going to bring our shoulders forward above our hips. Just taking a couple of calf stretches first, so your belly's drawing to your back, eyes towards your thighs. Now you're going to take the spine in the opposite direction, so your ribs push forward and your head lifts. And then draw the belly under, up, tailbone draws under, and your chest comes forward and your ribs lift. And then from here, in your neutral spine, your toes tuck under, lift your knees, gently press the hips back towards the heels, so you're really strong through your arms, and then you can gently straighten the legs whenever you feel ready. Encourage the heels towards the ground, because those calves have done quite a bit of work this morning. They're allowed a little release. You can walk out your feet, just pressing one heel back then the other. And again, as you press the heel back, you're just finding that stretch into your calf each time. Not forcing it, but just being aware of it. Once more each side. And then you can lift both heels, bend your knees, and step it forward. So heels just come under the hips with the feet hip distance apart. Fingers towards your toes, lengthen the back of your neck. Now if you need less, just bend your knees more. If you want more stretch in your hamstrings, gently straighten up the legs a little bit more. Now if you can, slightly rock forward to the balls of your feet, but don't grip with your toes. And don't fall over. Not the best position to fall over from. Then when you're ready, bend your knees a lot, tuck in your chin, take a breath in, and use the out breath as you restack your spine. As you're restacking your spine, you're keeping your chin just gently tucked in towards your chest, and the head lifts and the shoulders have a roll back. And we release. Just lift the arms up and let them just ease from side to side. Remembering our setup from the beginning, the hips are still, so they're not starting to twist. Just letting the shoulders relax, letting the head turn. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. And once more each way. And then you are free to enjoy the rest of this lovely day. Just pull the arms down, pull the shoulders up, and let them go. And give yourselves a clap, ladies and gents. Very well worked. Thank you all very much.